Well, Marwan Bishara joins us now. He's Al Jazeera's senior political analyst. He is with us on Skype from Paris. First of all, can we just talk a little bit about Israel's response to Norway, Ireland and Spain today? They've threatened sanctions. They're pulling their ambassadors. Netanyahu has just said that this is a reward for terrorism. What do you make of that? Do you think, first of all, are you surprised by anything that he has to say at this point in time?
Well, I've been saying for a while now that Netanyahu has lost it. He lost it both metaphorically and politically. He lost it metaphorically simply because everything he stood for has basically imploded in front of our eyes and his eyes over the past 8 months. Mr. Security turned out to be Mr. Insecurity. Mr. Long-serving Prime Minister turned out to be indicted on important corruption charges. His idea of war, swift one against Hamas, winning and reoccupying Gaza, turned out to be a nightmare for the Israelis. Israel is ever more isolated in the region and in the world. So really, all in all, he lost it. He lashes back against each and every person who criticizes Israel, calling them Nazis and anti-Semitic, even referring to the ICC prosecutor as, what did he call it, Nazi judges or something. He's basically lost it, and in more ways than one. And I think his response about pulling ambassadors, it just goes a long way to tell you how unintelligent, rather foolish he's become, in a way that, imagine if other European countries, other countries around the world do the same thing. What is he going to do? Withdraw all Israeli ambassadors from all countries in the world? Just makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah. Do you think that this is actually going to change anything in the short term, especially on the ground in Gaza?
It's not meant to change anything in Gaza. For some, this is a bit too little too late. It's a bit symbolic. And it's sort of a step by Europe to do something on Palestine without doing something serious against Israel as it carries its war crimes in Gaza. So one has to be realistic. Skeptical about these steps, but at the same time appreciate that there is a movement towards more recognition of Palestinian rights. We can hold those two thoughts at the same time, that this is a little bit too little too late, but this is also a good thing that is happening for the Palestinians.
Yeah. There are huge divisions in Europe at the moment, aren't there, though? Because you've got Norway, Spain and Ireland on one side, but you've also got the likes of Germany and Italy, which are providing huge amounts of weapons to Israel. I think Germany is second only behind the US in the terms of how much it is spending in sending weapons to Israel.
Yeah, Germany is, of course, as we all know, is a special case because of its history. But one could have learned a lesson of history by saying never again is not just never again against Jews, but never again against anyone. That the world should not accept another genocide unfolding on TV screens in front of our eyes as we speak. So Germany took the narrow version of never again to mean that we're going to support Israel even if Israel carries a genocide against the Palestinians. And I think there's a lot of American pressure on European powers like England, France, and Germany and so on to withhold their support for Palestinian rights, even when Europe tends to be a bit more progressive, let's say, than the United States. But also the United States is getting a bit desperate, like Israel is getting desperate. On its 30 years of diplomacy is leading to nowhere. And instead of that, they continue to double down and talk about direct negotiations that will lead to two-state solution, which is probably the dumbest thing I've heard over the past so many years. Because we know, and probably this is the time to write the book, Diplomacy for Dummies. Because diplomacy and creative thinking does not lead to major solutions after such long-term problems as in Israel-Palestine. What you need is a different strategic balance of power. What you need is international pressure. What you need is American pressure on Israel to change direction. That's what leads to diplomatic breakthroughs, not cynical talk about direct negotiations that we know that over 30 years it leads to nowhere. And it will lead to nowhere if we have another 30 years of more of the same.
Okay, thanks so much, Marwan. As always, we really appreciate your insight. Marwan Bishara there, Al Jazeera's senior political analyst.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.